Hey everyone, John here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a long trade here on gold, wave pattern long. Let's see, first target coming off at 96 even, second target coming off at 97.4, and then final target, we've got to go, I would really like to put it at 99, but the problem is we have resistance here at 98.6, so we're going to go ahead of that level instead, and we'll just say 98.3, get a nice little move ahead of that level. So from our entry here at 94.9, we're looking at our first target at 96. That locks in 11 ticks. After that, we're looking for the next push up to get us past that swing high at 96.5, get up to 97.4. It's 25 ticks. Then the final move all the way up, 98.3, gives us 34 more ticks. So if we can get all of these, we're looking at 2 off at 11, nice and easy there, 25 and 34. So 81 ticks on the trade if we can get all of these filled. Now, this whole morning really on gold has set up kind of an interesting scenario, right? If we look at it, initially it looked like we were hyper bearish, right? We just got smashed through the downside. But then when we got through the downside, what happened? We immediately popped right back up into the range, right? So we're not seeing that follow through from the bears that it once looked like we were going to get. This whole morning, starting from around 5 o'clock or so this morning Eastern time, we've been falling since then, right? We had a push down, let's just say 5 o'clock is when that sell-off started. We fell almost 150 ticks, right, to the downside. So the sellers were very adamant about their selling. Hardly any retracements worth much size all the way down. So the sellers were very aggressive to the downside. But as soon as we break through the lows and get some distance below the low, it's immediately met with buying pressure right back up again. So now it's starting to look as though we're in more of a range day than anything else. And the range just looks like it widened out, right? So now we're looking at a range, something along the lines of this. And that could mean that we're headed all the way back up to the highs here, back up above that 1100 mark and back up to that prior high at 1104.4. So that's kind of what it's looking like right now. Now that may change, obviously, but at the moment, we do have quite a bullish sentiment on this move. Now, along with that, we're seeing this really continue this nice bullish movement that we were talking about to the upside. It was met with a big spike higher. That got us above the BMT. We pulled back to the BMT, bounced right back off it again. So we're seeing that act as a nice chunk of support along with everything else. And then to top that all off, we're seeing that follow through right back again. We come back to the trigger zone. We get a nice little one tick low, more like a trap in this case. Traps the low side near that trigger zone right there, and then pops right back higher again. So that's why we're entering long where we are, because it looks like it makes perfect sense to hop in here and ride this thing all the way back up. Now, again, we do have some areas of resistance in the way. That's why we're taking our profit at 98.3 instead of gunning for the entire high of day. But at the same time, if you have a bigger runner that you're looking at holding on to for the morning, you might be able to make it all the way back up to those highs. So keep that in mind. You do have that overall objective all the way back up here. I'd probably go to 1103.8 just to get, a logical area to take some profit off of. But that's where the final area would be for that final target runner back up to the highs. And that might take all day to get it, but you might be able to pull off a really nice run to the upside. We're going to be a little more conservative, though. Take a profit ahead of that level at 98. I can't see that bar is smacking the way. Let me adjust that. That level at 98.6. So going at 98.3 just gets us ahead of that level. But outside of that, everything's looking picture perfect to the upside. So just got to sit on hands and wait for it to go. We're a little bit later in the morning. We're going on 10 o'clock now. This is usually when gold starts slowing down a little bit, right? But at the same time, if this is going to rotate all the way back up to the highs, you might see these buyers just smack this thing right back up. So we got to keep an eye on it, but we're looking back up to the upside, looking for the first target at 96, then 97.4 and 98.3. And so far this morning, there's really not any concern about putting your stop to break even. I mean, you can see all of these swings on the downside have held very well. So there is some emphasis on possibly just leaving it at the swing, right? That's definitely an option, but it doesn't look like there's too much kind of clustering in here. It doesn't look like it's been stacked up too much. Usually once it starts going, it starts going. So you could probably go to break even on this one without much of a problem. No need for a discretionary stop at all. But all we have to do is wait now. So the first target at 96 is the next stop. All right, we're seeing the buyers really push in here. We're coming one tick away from our target. Getting close, right? We're getting close. It has been a little bit slow. It's kind of what we anticipated, just based on the fact that, well, it's 10 o'clock and it's gold. And it's usually when it starts slowing down. So we got that first target there. Now we can go to break even. There is that little wick that formed right here And even though there's not a ton of concern about going to break even, I'm going to play it a little bit safe and just go underneath that wick. It's not a huge stop. We're only looking at a 3-tick stop putting it there. So even if it does stop us out, we only give back 6 ticks on two contracts, three ticks on 2 contracts, a total of 6. So the stop doesn't have to be that big at all. And that just gives it that little bit of buffer that sometimes you need for these types of moves. But honestly, I'm not too concerned about it coming back on us. Every time it really chooses that direction, it usually doesn't stop until it's ready to pull back. So that does mean some good things for the trade because we've chosen the direction. We should be good until we want to pull back, and that's kind of what we're looking for. So next target at 97.4, that's going to be the next objective that we're looking for here. All right, we're seeing the buyers step back in. We tested our target here, 97.4, no fill yet. But because we did test that target, we're going to lock our stop in at break even. I don't want to give anything back at this point. So break even +1 at 95. There we got our fill right there. So next target, not too much farther away. We're looking at 98.3. And again, the reason why we're going there instead of the overall target here at 99.3 is just primarily because we've got resistance here at 98.6. It doesn't mean it's not going to make it up to 99.3. It doesn't mean it's not going to go up to 1101 or 1103.8. But we like to play it a little bit conservative here. If you're feeling a little bit more aggressive or you got those aggressive pants on, you could go for 99.3, 1101, or like we talked about earlier, 1103.8. Those are all definitely viable options to the upside. But for me, I'm just looking for that next push up at 1109.3, and that should lock in that move. So far, so good. 2 off at 11, 1 off at 25. Looking for one a little bit farther up. 6 more ticks to go, and we're looking at 34 for that final target there. So 34 ticks on that last push. All right, same scenario. We tested our target, no fill. Let's lock our stop in here. Oh, I guess we don't have to. We got that target filled. It's going to lock the stop in where a reversal bar would form it. In this case, didn't have to do it. So we got that beautiful move up, exactly what we were looking for. And again, this is what we've been seeing on gold so far. Once it picks a direction, it doesn't stop till it's ready to reverse. And we've seen that all morning, especially after this reversal happened. And it's following through perfectly right here. So everything looking really, really good. If you still want to hang on, you do have that 99.3. You've got the 1101, and you've got the 1103.8. Don't forget to front run those by a little bit just to be safe. But we're running into that resistance here, and you can see it's acting as resistance. Not only are we taking profit, but a lot of market participants are going to be taking some profit here. It's a big area. So 98.6 is where you're seeing this little bit of bouncing. So beautiful move up. Overall, we locked in 81 ticks, $810 on the trade, and that's going to do it. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com, and as always, we'll catch you next time.